So I got this car last June. I put almost about 15,000 miles on it, and be honest, there's a lot of good things about this car that I absolutely love, and there's some things that I've found out that are kind of disappointing, but you know, quid pro quo, there's no perfect vehicle. My dad, who is definitely an old school person, he's not a Tesla person at all. He's gonna share his thoughts, and let's just say having him join me will be kind of interesting. Here he comes right now. What's up, Pops? Well, boy, I guess you finally got me in the car. So what do you think? I'm be honest now, boy. I'm be honest. I'm unimpressed. I'm gonna tell you why. This fancy dancy TikToky iPhone on wheels disappoints me. It's getting out of hand. You kids with your Instagram and your Riz is getting out of hand. I mean, how you turn the dang volume up on here? How do I adjust my air? Can't do nothing. I can't touch the dang no buttons up in here. I don't even know how to get out the dang door. Ain't even a normal door handle. Oh, the volume's easy. You can just do it right here on the steering wheel. So you can just do it on the screen right here. You know, you can even adjust the air right here. Hell no. All this. That's way too many damn steps. I think it's kind of cool, at least, right? No, it ain't. It ain't cool. Vanilla Ice was cool. Ninja Turtles from the 80s was cool. Oh, man. You can't even visit me and Meemaw on the farm. Because you got this Tesla, because you need the Tesla charger. That ain't cool. Yeah, this Tesla testing me all right. So are you going to go on the ride with me, though? No. Hell no. I tell you what. You let me know when you're done with your TikToky YouTube thing, and then when you get back, we'll go for a ride in the real car, and not this sissified thing you in nowadays. We're gonna get in the truck, a real truck. Single cab dually, to be specific, with the dang diesel. Now, I done already put on your stupid hat, you know, for your video, trying to show you I'm a good father. This is how you repay me with this contraption. Boy, just let me know when you're done, so you can come on home to me and your Meemaw. I can't do this no more. I'm out of here. I gotta go. There he goes. Why is he walking like that, though? Got that old man walk. Anyway, that's his thoughts. It's his opinion. It's all good. Leave a comment if you think I should get him in another video. I'll try to find my way to convince him to join me or something. But having this car for the past almost a full year now, it's been a great car. Zero problems, zero complaints, no issues with this car at all. And also I got a couple of other things, you know, like extras, like the body kit, the refrigerator inside there, the retractable sunscreen and stuff like that. So there's a lot of upgrades and bonuses that came with this car, or not even come with it, but that I got for this car, what makes it a little bit cooler. Of course, all the customizable things, the safety things that come with this car, really cool, as well as the fact that you can put the little mattress in the bag to sleep in it, you know, all kind of little creature comforts that make it real nice. I like how you can control everything with the app. So if it's hot outside and you want the AC going before you get there, you turn it on, and the AC gets working really fast. Like, it's not slow. It doesn't take forever to get things started. Like, you push it and like the AC cools down actually surprisingly fast. Something I really like about this car, the fact that it's brand new and I haven't had any issues. I haven't had to bring it to the shop for any stupid reason because brand new, because I've seen plenty of brand new cars. Like, someone will have a car for like a few months and they already got to go to a shop because they got these new engines. They're like super fuel efficient, you know, V6 turbo and all this other stuff. They're trying to make it super efficient, but then the car is always having all these problems. So they bring it to the dealership, have to get it fixed. So it's kind of like, I felt like as far as a new car, I felt like this was a good buy, you know, because you're not experimenting with some new technology. You know, electric cars have been around since the early 1900s, and this is just a very, very, very advanced version of it. You know, it's reliable, it drives precise. Now you don't get your growl like, you know, with a V8 like I had on my truck, or my seats in with the LS swap or anything like that, or like an Audi, but it's still cool. You know, it did its job. The first reason I got this car was for it to be fuel efficient. I wanted a more fuel efficient car, and I'd say mission accomplished. All the little features in here, I mean, you would think that some of this stuff will be confusing, but actually the more you get used to it, the easier it is. But I do wonder what would happen if like the screen messed up. I know you got like the extra buttons up here and stuff, to where like if these buttons over here don't work, it lights up. You can't see it right now, but it says park, reverse, neutral, and drive right here where you would push. Everything is touchscreen, even the lights, you just touch the light. It's not a button, it doesn't do a click, you just tap it, and it's like touch sensitive. And the internet that comes in this car, if you pay for the internet, it's like $10, and it's pretty fast. I haven't had an issue with it. I've never had an issue with it, even when I'm like traveling through like canyon and stuff like that, unless you got like really like surrounded by like cliffs or something. Other than that, you still can be able to pick up your internet signal and everything. It connects automatically to your phone. You can even do Wi-Fi hotspot if you have like a phone that has the hotspot. I got an iPhone, so mine does that, and you can save on the money a little bit. One of my other favorite features, the screen back here, is super useful for keeping your noisy kids distracted. So like when they get in the car and they're arguing, blah, 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 just put this movie on, then they sit there and be quiet. Just something I don't like is like with the superchargers. Now granted, you can charge the car at home, which is honestly the cheapest way to charge your car up. But the thing is, you got to worry about is a lot of these houses weren't built with the intention of you charging your electric car while you're at home, you know. So then there's sometimes where people have like fires or something like that. So literally I just go to the supercharger. Granted, until I make sure I have like the proper wiring system in the house. Something like the Tesla battery pack that you have at home, where you have like energy stored up inside a battery, so then you could charge directly from that. You could charge your home as well in emergency situations with the solar panels on the roof, as well as charge that battery, you know, so charge your battery for emergency systems and also charge your car from that same battery. So until I get something like that, I might just keep it at the supercharger, because, you know, granted you can get insurance and stuff like that, but I don't want to have to go through the headache of, oh, my house caught on fire because I charged my car in the garage. And both my cars caught on fire because it was in the garage, so my other car caught on fire too. And you know, and my kid's bedroom is next to the garage. You know, I'm good on that. You know, there's a lot of hazards and risks, you know, that come from, you know, potentially charging at home. You know, so just use the infrastructure, and I'm pretty glad that I got it, because granted, sometimes the supercharger, like, they'll change their prices. They're like 25 cents per kilowatt hour, which basically equates to like spending like $10 and almost fully charging this thing up. And then you go at certain, they like change the time, like, oh, it's not 10 o'clock for the discount price, now it's 11 o'clock. So you still pay double the price to get your car charged up. If you don't check, you got to make sure you check the supercharger hours. All right, check the prices for the hours before you plug up, because you don't want to make a mistake like me and like assume that it's still the same as it was before, and then it's actually like something else, something different. That's super annoying. But I will say, as far as the conveniences of this car, I'm pulling up the Tesla app right now. They're spot on. I love it. I love the Tesla app. Can you see that? I love the Tesla app. Super useful. Control the climate control. I can even from here pop the trunk if I want to. See how the trunk popped open? Close it again, all from the phone. Open the front. Makes it super. There's my tripod. I was wondering where my tripod is. It's in here. Dang. See, the thing is, I barely open this thing, so I put things in here and forget that it's in there. because it keeps it so clean and everything in here. This shirt has been so old and dirty that this dirt is from what I wiped it on, not from just being in here. All this is all nice and sealed and clean. You see the dirt? The dirt only goes on the outside, so all the rain and stuff, don't none of it get in there. It's like it's sealed. It's like its own sealed compartment, so that's nice. And the standard one doesn't have that, surprisingly. All the little weather stuff is gone, so I'm glad I got this one because it makes it nice and sealed up in there, which is good. And it's like a weatherproof, like waterproof thing too. So if you got water in here, there's a little drain plug right here. Just twist that off and bloop, drain all your water out of there. So this car has a lot of things I've never seen on a lot of other cars, and I've driven a lot of cars, tested a lot of vehicles. I even worked at a dealership for a little bit, so I had my hands on a lot of brand new cars for a long time. And this one comes with a lot of things that other cars don't come with. Number one is customizability. Not like standard customizations, but like just like a huge aftermarket. There's such a huge Tesla aftermarket, it's ridiculous. Like this right here. My dad was talking about how I got hubcaps on my car, but I was like, they're not hubcaps, Dad, they're wheel covers. So basically, because this one actually comes with a set of real rims underneath here. See? Comes with a set of real rims underneath here. It kind of looks like the old school torque thrust rims, like American Racing, 5 spokes, big space. This is actually a really nice rim, and I wanted to keep this rim on here until I had a couple of road rash moments, like where I hit the curb right here, hit the curb tiny bit there, and there's a bigger one on this side. So it's I'm glad I got these wheel covers now, because without them I'd have those scratches, and I just got tired of the scratches. So the point of these wheel covers is to protect your rim, so you know when you're a new Tesla driver, so you don't scratch your rims up, and you take them off when you get better at driving. Just like that, they pop back on nice and easy and clean. And they send these cars to China first, so I think that's where the huge aftermarket is really coming from. Just like a lot of our stuff, comes from China. China ain't bad. Everything from China isn't bad. Like everything I've gotten for this car that comes from Chinese exporters has been good quality and it hasn't messed up. It's been exactly like they said. It's built to spec. I think this body kit was measured with like lasers and LiDAR scanners or something like that. Let's go for a quick drive, because the drive is my favorite part of this vehicle. And I'll be honest, over the time I've had to learn to slow down, because before I would keep it in standard mode. As far as the acceleration, you go to dynamics and keep it on standard, and that's where you get the most acceleration. There's a little sport mode you can unlock too, but I don't got that. I keep it in chill now, but versus the standard, the regenerative braking in standard mode is stronger though, so you get a harder punch of of energy absorption. So it like absorbs all that energy and transfers it back to your battery. It's not much. Now I think you probably could actually get a little bit of charge if you're like riding down a grade, like a giant hill or something, and like absorbing some of that energy, because this car has saved my brakes a lot. Like I don't even have to use my brakes pretty much most of the time. And this car drives straight as an arrow. Sometimes I have to remember not to put so much input in sometimes because it goes so smooth already. Also, I got my wireless charger. Just put it on there. Any iPhone, like as long as it's an XR and up, you'll do the wireless charging right there. Plenty of storage for me to put whatever I need. And you see the map, how crystal clear it is. Just looks so good and nice and pristine. When I switch it to standard mode, the acceleration is like, it's like a lightning bolt. This thing is like ridiculous. It just takes off unlike any other car. And for the price per dollar, for like the price of this car compared to the amount of acceleration and how much I'm saving on gas and everything, yeah, you could get something a little bit more peppier and bigger and more expensive and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be saving nowhere near as much as I do on fuel with this car. This car is ridiculous. I think this probably is the most efficient car I've ever had. I think hybrid might be the way to go if you worried about time, but you still want efficiency. You don't want to spend 30 minutes at a charger. You just put it in there and it's got a little battery in there to help you off the line so you can save fuel and everything. But this car, man, There's a lot of other electric cars that people say are better, but this one just has like the best infrastructure. All these other cars like Rivian, Volvo, a lot of other like Volkswagen, every other electric car, yeah, they're cool, but they don't have their own branded charger where you can go to where it's like reliable. All of them are going to the Tesla charger, and they got to have adapters and everything. And if you ever try those other chargers, they're horrible. They're horrible experience. Versus a Tesla is seamless. It's so easy. All you gotta do is come up, pop your charger open, put it in there. It's it. You don't even have to put your card in. You don't have to scan the QR code. Nothing. You just go. Like literally over time, I've had to learn to just drive slow because driving so speedy is not necessary. Like when I first got the car, I was driving fast everywhere all the time. It was hard to keep your foot off the pedal because other cars you have to push it hard to go fast, versus this one, as soon as you put your foot on the pedal, you take the heck off. Like it's so ridiculously fast. It's like it's excellent. It's hard to believe that this is like supposed to be like a family sedan, you know. A family sedan for who? What family? And plus all the other things that you get, like the Sentry mode, you can see all the stuff that's going on in your car from anywhere. So like literally you can leave a dog in the car and you can see what they're doing from your phone. I'll show you actually. Go to security and drivers, Sentry mode, and push view live camera. And then let you see all the angles. You see front, back, sides, and everything. If I just want to see just the front, I can see just the front. It shows me. Look at me. I got my leg up here. See, it shows my leg up on the camera. It shows me. That's my leg right there, and that's me on the. I'm in front of the car. See, I'm standing right there in front of the car. Shows my feet here. I mean, this is dope. Was anything in there? Nope, nothing's in there right now. And like even with the camera, even if you look at it at nighttime, it would show it in night vision. So instead of being color, it would just show like a black and white image or black and white video of what's going on inside the car. Now, granted, it's not 60 frames per second or nothing because it's live, but still, it's pretty dang dope that you can have that ability to do that as a Mercedes drives by. You see that Mercedes? As expensive as it is, SL, whatever that is, it ain't got half of the stuff that this car has. Like this car is super advanced. And for Mercedes, BMW, for them to put a lot of the stuff that comes standard on this car, in order for them to put it on there, they're gonna charge you another $20,000. So if Tesla owners' goal is to have a vehicle that they can ultimately save money in some way doing, you know, whether it's safety or fuel or something, I guess Tesla owners are stupid because we don't want to pay $100-something every week for fuel, because either way it goes, you're gonna pay. I could have gotten a car that was a little bit cheaper than this and bigger, but then I would have been spending how much more in fuel? I would have been spending way more than what I'm paying just for this car. And I barely even have to spend not even $100 a month on charging for this car. That's going all over the place. Now, if you're keeping it modest, not even going anywhere really, you're not really even gonna have to spend that much. Maybe $10, $20 at the Supercharger if you're barely going anywhere. I guess it's all up to the person, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Hey boy, I guess you done now, right? Since you done, let me take you down on over to a real dealership. I got my boy Jose. He got the best Chevys, Fords, Dodges, all dualies, of course, single cab. And if you want to change this in and get yourself a real car, they said they'll give you a good deal, all right? All right, man? Can I just... No, don't be thinking about going over to no Rivian, nothing else. You know, no more of this hokey pokey type cars, all right? Dad, can I just own this car in peace? Damn it, boy, you ain't never gonna learn, boy. You ain't never gonna learn, boy. You ain't never gonna learn. I don't know why I messed up with you, boy. I see you at home. I ain't riding in here. I see you at home, boy. So you heard it right from the donkey's mouth. You know, there's just no change in some people's opinion. So if you're gonna get a vehicle like this, make sure you're getting it for the reasons that are important for you and not based on everyone else's opinion. Because I've owned this car for almost a year now, and driving the heck out of it had zero issues, But yeah, there's still people that will claim that they would never ever get in one, never drive it, and want nothing to do with it. And that's okay.